It's every player's dream to make the game-winning shot in the NBA Finals. It's an ultimate testament that a player is clutch, to make the biggest shot on the biggest stage that exists in the NBA. Every legendary player has had a clutch moment in the finals, but no one had more game-winning plays in a single NBA Finals series than Michael Jordan. This occurred against the Utah Jazz in the iconic 1997 Finals. It may surprise you just how many he had his hands on. The first one came in Game 1. In the final 6 minutes of the fourth quarter, he already scored 7 of the Bulls' 12 points that tied the game. So in the final possession, everyone knew who was going to shoot the ball. For the game, there were only 2 Bulls players who scored more than 6 points. That was Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. You would think that the Jazz would try to double team him to let someone else win the game. Instead, they decided to put Byron Russell on an island against a 10-time scoring champion. So with 7.5 seconds remaining, Jordan dribbled and dribbled, waiting for the double team that never came. He then did this.
MJ, top of the circle, against Russell. Michael hangs, fires, score! And it Bulls win! He knocked it in at the buzzer, Bulls win! How many times has he done that?
27 years later, and we still haven't seen another buzzer beater in the finals. In all of NBA history, this is only the 5th time that it's occurred. He joined Cliff Hagan, Jerry West, Larry Wright, and Dennis Johnson. His fist pump after making the game winner showed a cool and calm demeanor, but there's no question that he was fueled with fire and motivation. One thing that surely motivated him was the fact that he was robbed of an MVP award that season. For reasons that have nothing to do with basketball, Karl Malone won the award. In the previous possession, the MVP was at the free throw line with a chance to take the lead, and he missed both of the uncontested free throws. That was Jordan's golden opportunity to stick it to the rest of the league, and he did. As if he needed more motivation, he also had Byron Russell guarding him. According to the Last Dance documentary, Russell said a few choice words to MJ that stuck with him. This is what Jordan recounted.
When I was playing baseball, Utah's in town to play the Bulls. They're practicing at the facility. I go over to say hello to John and Carl. And this kid, Byron Russell, comes up to me and said, "Man, why you quit? Why you quit? Man, you knew I could guard your ass. I couldn't, you had to quit." I said, "Carl, you need to talk to this dude, man." Nah, he's just a young rookie. But from that point on, he's been on my list.
This was Russell's moment to guard his
Hee-haw!
And Jordan killed 2 birds with 1 stone. He learned the hard way that you don't talk trash to him. Unfortunately for Byron Russell, MJ wasn't done with him. We now move on to Game 5, or as is universally known, the flu game. Although many believe that he was suffering from food poisoning, one thing is for certain, he wasn't himself. It was reported that he had spent the hour before the game lying in a dark room with a bucket nearby to handle the nausea, that he had been dehydrated and sapped of strength, and that his coach and teammates had not expected him to play. You could tell that he was out of it right from the start of the game. He was lacking energy, and the Bulls quickly went down by 13 points in the first quarter. The Vultures were already circling this team. They looked old, fatigued, and dead in the water. But when Jordan is doubted, that's when he takes his game to another level. He proceeded to score 17 points in the second quarter, and he was able to help Chicago stay within striking distance. Then in the fourth quarter, he was as clutch as ever. He ended up scoring 15 points on 60% shooting. That includes this play.
10 on the shot clock. Pippen making Hornacek. Here's Jordan. Yes! Michael Jordan.
He made a 3-pointer that ultimately won the game. They avoided going down 3-2 in the series thanks to what many consider as one of the greatest finals performances ever. The lasting image of that game came shortly after that shot when Scottie Pippen was seen holding up a physically drained Michael Jordan as he went to the bench. After the game, Scottie Pippen said this to the Chicago Tribune, quote, I've never seen Michael as sick as this. It was to the point I didn't know if he could play. It was just incredible leadership, big shot after big shot. Somehow, he gave us what we needed." End of quote. We now move on to Game 6. For this moment, the Utah Jazz was going to make sure that they wouldn't make the same mistake that cost them 2 games. In Game 1, they guarded Michael one-on-one for the final possession. Fool me once, shame on you. In Game 5, Byron Russell thought it was a good idea to leave him open to double team Scottie Pippen. Fool me twice, shame on me. So with 28 seconds left in Game 6 and with the game tied, Michael knew that there was no possible way that the Jazz was even going to let him attempt a shot. He had already scored 10 of the Bulls' last 12 points. So he started strategizing with Steve Kerr, and he found the perfect game plan. For Steve Kerr, it was a chance to redeem himself and prove to Jordan that he was right for trusting him with the championship on the line. In Game 4, after John Stockton made his famous one-handed cross-court pass to Malone, he missed an open three-pointer that would have taken the lead and most likely the game. During that possession, John Stockton also came over to double-team Michael. However, Steve Kerr assured MJ that he was going to be ready this time. With the clock ticking under 10 seconds, this is how the play unfolded.
Checks the clock, 5 on the 24. Here's Jordan. Did not have the shot. 5 seconds remaining.
As he has proven time and time again, he doesn't always have to take the final shot. He always made the right play in clutch moments. In various cases, he would pass it to his teammates. That includes when the title was on the line. He did it in 1993 with John Paxson, and he did it again in 1997. I'm sure it was his dream to make the shot that would win his team a championship, but his time would eventually come. And it did in the following year against his very team. So let's recap. Michael Jordan scored 2 game winners, including the last buzzer-beating shot that we witnessed in the finals. And then he assisted on the shot that ended up winning the title. That's 3 game-winning shots that he was a part of in a single NBA Finals series. How many top 75 players can say the same thing? We all know the answer to that question. Only the most clutch player to ever exist can make that statement. It's just another argument that's in favor of the greatest player of all time. But what about you all? What do you remember the most from this series? Who do you think could rival what Jordan accomplished in the 1997 finals? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.